How's it going? I'm Ryan. Today I'm going to go over the two trades I took on NQ. I took a short, I got stopped out, then I re entered that short and caught a winner. So overall, we're green on the day. I'll go into what I was watching, why I took the trade, how I managed risk, etc. And yeah, let's talk about it. So overall, the market was weak heading into the day. We had ES, NQ, and RTY all opening well below previous day range. So at this point, really what I was watching is RTY was the strongest out of the three. So I was watching kind of NQ and ES and just watching for a break and close below that pre-market low range, and then some sort of retest and shorting for continuation to the downside. So I traded NQ today. Let's take a look at the setup that I took. You can see off the open, we got that 5-minute close below the pre-market low. And then we got 3 consecutive nice down candles. We got a move to the upside. We came up and we retested this 13 EMA. That's kind of my entry criteria. So I entered here with about a 20-point stop, a little less than 20 points. I think it was, let's see what it was. Yeah, it's just under 20 points, about 19 points. A little bit larger of a stop loss than I normally take, but today was a little bit more volatile, so I had to kind of adjust with the way that price was moving, and I was stopped out. So what happened is I entered on this candle. It looked pretty good. It tested and rejected that EMA, and then on this subsequent candle, we got a big pop up, and that pop stopped me out, and then we pulled all the way back down and closed weak. And once I saw that, I really liked that, so I re-entered short here. Same thing, had about a 20-point stop or so, maybe a little less above that EMA. And I targeted these wicks right here. So I didn't go for the lows entirely. I targeted this little support level here. And it was just under a 50-point move. It's 46 points for my entry. So about a 2-to-1, a little over 2-to-1. I had less than 20-point risk. I had a 46-point target. It hit my target, and I was able to take profit here. And then I had a runner left. The runner, I moved my stop to break even, and then I was just going to let my runner run. Actually, I placed a buy order at 24,400, so down here, which would have been about 80 points from my entry. It would have been about an 80-point move if we got that flush. We didn't. We kind of held this zone. You can see we held this zone and then popped. And this pop was pretty fast, and it actually caused some crazy slippage. So my stop loss was in profit, and it slipped so hard that I lost 10 points. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer that I took a loss on my runner when I managed that position by having a stop loss in place and having that stop loss be in profit. It was like 4 or 5 points in profit, not much, but for it to slip from 4 to 5 points in profit to 10 points out of profit, it's a $30 swing. If I had more than one contract, that would have been unfortunate. That instead of taking a small win, it ends up being a loss. So yeah, we had some slippage there, and I took a $21 loss on my runner, which is, whatever. Should have been a little bit nicer of a day, about 230 or so if that didn't happen on the runner, but nonetheless, we're over 200 on profit on the day, which we can't be mad at. We're a little over halfway to being eligible for our first payout on these accounts, so I don't want to lose sight of that, and I don't want to get too greedy. We're managing our trailing drawdown really well. That's something that I'm paying a lot of attention to as I trade these accounts, as that was my problem, has been my problem, is not really fully watching and understanding that trailing drawdown, how that's working, and just making sure that I am taking profit, that I am trying to keep that trailing drawdown healthy. Because if I did not take any profit here and then I took a full size loss, that would have been a pretty big swing. Instead of whatever the loss was, it would have been, another $200, $300 on top of that plus the loss. So just making sure when I'm getting a decent move, I'm securing some of that profit so that trailing drawdown doesn't get affected too much if it does reverse against me, as we saw today. Today we did not get follow through, and we got a reversal, and now we're setting new highs on the day and kind of looking to re-enter the previous day range potentially. That's really it. it was pretty much one trade. I just got stopped out and then re-entered once I had further confirmation. But that's the setup that I'm looking for. It moved nice. Why did I not take it all the way at low day? Because that would have been like a 60-point move, and that's a little bit greedy. I don't need my first take profit to be 60 points. I'm happy with anything 30 points and over. Anything like 25 points and over, depending on the day. But today was a bit more volatile, so normally I'd go for like a 30-point move. Today was moving pretty nice, so I chose something a little bit bigger, like 46 points. I had a wider stop loss, so I kind of had to have a bigger take profit as well to maintain that sort of 2-to-1 risk to reward that I like to use. So that's why I didn't target low a day, and I just targeted these wicks, because after low a day down in here, that's kind of the next logical place to target on the 2-minute. Anything else? No. Did the ES give me a better opportunity? I didn't even really look. ES did the exact same thing, so no, it didn't really. It would have been very similar. And then RTY never even gave the setup, so RTY didn't. Oh, excuse me. RTY didn't reject off this, and it was the strongest out of the 3 all day, so I didn't look to short that one because it had relative strength out of the 3, so that wouldn't make sense to short the strongest of the 3. We've traded 2 days to this week. We're up over 500, I think 540 or so dollars on this week, which is real solid. And hopefully we can end the week tomorrow. Let's see if we can get a decent little move tomorrow. If not, that's all right. You know, we've hit a number that we're very happy with in terms of profit on the week. Anything over 500 for a week is solid for me, and I'll be happy with that. But if we can squeeze out another 200, 300, 400 tomorrow, I wouldn't be complaining, you know. Happy to juice it while the juicing's good. But anyways, I will be back tomorrow, and yeah, see if we can't close this week strong and just keep pushing towards that first potential payout. We're on our way. A little over halfway. Take it easy, guys. Peace.